Imagine an independent nation in space that serves as an access point for space research, tourism, and from protection from outer space threats like asteroids. That's Asgardia, the world's first space nation. In October 2016, I saw an article announcing that Asgardia was taking applications for citizenship. The nation plans to digitize and store all of human knowledge in space, construct space arcs as Asgardian territories and for tourism. It also plans to eventually establish territories on the moon and other celestial bodies. Of course, I immediately signed up.
Asgardia's core is its philosophy and its vision that humans are much bigger in the universe than just somebody attached to planet Earth.
That's Lena Davina.
I'm the CEO and Vice President of the non-government organization Asgardia.
She also worked at the European Space Agency for 15 years, has a Master of Science in Engineering and a PhD in Psychology. Full disclosure, I am an Asgardian citizen. I registered and got verified and have a certificate with an identification number and everything. In the first 20 days, 500,000 people applied for citizenship, and I was one of them.
And it's from every country in the world. We expected that we might get 100,000 before the end of 2016, and we got 100,000 in 40 hours.
What kind of reactions have you gotten from different citizens?
Some of them really treated this as a computer game. Like, seriously, after 2 weeks, I was getting complaints that it's been the whole 2 weeks, so when I was flying to space. We are simply giving an opportunity to all Asgardians to symbolically go to space.
Whenever I mention Asgardia to somebody, they ask me, usually with a sarcastic tone, so when am I going to space? There's no plan for that yet. Instead, Asgardia is sending a data storage satellite to low Earth orbit later this year. The satellite is called Asgardia 1. It's being launched on the next Cygnus resupply mission to the International Space Station. After a couple months attached to ISS, Cygnus will undock and move to a higher orbit, then launch Asgardia 1. Even though being an Asgardian won't get you a ticket to space, citizens can upload files to the satellite. I uploaded this picture of myself, for example. A citizen can only upload files after ratifying Asgardia's constitution. The 35-page constitution has 50 articles, which anyone can read on Asgardia's website. Article 1 defines Asgardia as a constitutional monarchy. It's officially called the Space Kingdom of Asgardia, and it's inspired by the world's democracies.
Look at the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Monaco, Norway, Sweden. You would find that the world-leading democracies are constitutional monarchies.
Asgardia's founder, Igor Asher-Bailey, declared himself as head of nation in a decree after a vote from over 150,000 citizens. After a 5-year term, there will be elections for a new head of nation. Dr. Asher-Bailey is a billionaire scientist, businessman, and philanthropist born in Azerbaijan. In 2016, he was awarded a medal from UNESCO for his contribution to nanoscience and nanotechnologies.
At the moment, about 20 countries have access to space. So only their national institutions, only scientists from their countries can benefit from access to space. Space research should be open for all.
Right now, all of international space law is based on what's called the Outer Space Treaty, signed in 1967 in the middle of the space race. Technology was developing super quickly, so the treaty is just a very short, basic document. It simply outlines what countries can and cannot do in outer space, like putting nuclear weapons into orbit. Not allowed to do that.
Asgardia is challenging the current understanding or laws that only states can participate in the international arena.
It's important to note that states govern a defined territory that has boundaries, like a country. Asgardia is not a state, it's a nation, or a group of people with a common identity.
Asgardia must comply with the current legal system, at the same time must strive to get it changed so that there's a development of law.
Rethinking legal structures to accommodate a new entity like Asgardia is fascinating to me. But whenever I mention it to colleagues or friends, they usually say something like, yeah, that's interesting, but that's never going to happen. So I mentioned that to Lena.
Asgardia has already happened. From this moment onwards, basically, we offer a permanent presence of all Asgardia in space. It is really time, philosophically, politically, technologically, to let humankind go beyond the surface of planet Earth. Nothing apart from gravity force keeps us here.
Will Asgardia succeed in building space arcs? We can only wait and see. For now, though, a picture of me is going into space, and that's pretty cool.